Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. Here's a recap of our top stories from the week.
A man was arraigned on Thursday after police say he raped a victim in May of 2023. According to Hazleton City Police, officers were dispatched to the 700 block of Roosevelt Street on May 24, 2023 for a report of a rape. Officers say the victim told police that the suspect followed her into her home in the early hours of the morning after she returned home from work and then raped her. After an investigation was conducted, DNA testing revealed the suspect's identity as Giovanni Cruz. Cruz was arrested by Hazleton City Police and charged with 1 count of rape by forcible compulsion, 2 counts of aggravated indecent assault by forcible compulsion, and 1 count of involuntary deviant sexual intercourse by forcible compulsion, among other charges. Cruz was arraigned on May 16, 2024. He is currently being held at the Luzerne County Correctional Facility with denied bail.
Luzerne County Police are attempting to identify the individuals shown on screen. According to police, the suspects are wanted in connection to reported retail thefts in Wilkes-Barre Township and Edwardsville. Edwardsville police say the 2 individuals stole over $3,000 worth of items from the Edwardsville Price Chopper on multiple occasions. The 2 suspects also allegedly stole over $1,000 worth of medicines from the Wilkes-Barre Township Wegmans on May 19th. Anyone with information regarding the identities of the suspects is asked to contact Edwardsville Borough Police at 570-288-6484. Governor Josh Shapiro joined state officials and statewide tourism leaders on Monday at PNC Field in Music to unveil Pennsylvania's new state tourism brand. Pennsylvania, the Great American Getaway, is a new summer travel marketing campaign that encourages more people to travel across and visit the Commonwealth. The campaign is aimed at those within close driving proximity to major hubs along the East Coast, including New York City, Baltimore, and Washington, D.C. Shapiro said that Pennsylvania is a premier weekend destination, providing unique experiences within the state's main streets and small towns, historical sites, state parks, and much more. The Great American Getaway campaign is part of the governor's economic development strategy, which is expected to generate $76 billion and support over 486,000 jobs a year in Pennsylvania. More information on the new campaign can be found at visitpa.com. A man was arrested in Wilkes-Barre on Tuesday after police say he led officers on a chase with 2 small children in the vehicle. According to state police, the chase began on State Route 309 when troopers attempted to pull over Giovanni Lopez for traveling 84 miles per hour in a 55-mile-per-hour zone. Police say Lopez ignored the troopers and proceeded to lead them on a chase. During the chase, police say Lopez crashed into a car stopped at a red light on South River Street and hit a parked vehicle. Following the second crash, police were able to arrest Lopez, who had been driving with a woman and 2 small children in the vehicle. According to court documents, state police then executed a search warrant on the car and found marijuana gummies, a black ski mask, and a Glock 9mm handgun. Lopez has been charged with illegal possession of a firearm, flight to avoid apprehension, and reckless endangerment, among other charges. He is currently behind bars at the Luzerne County Correctional Facility without bail.
A new sign was unveiled at the Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton on Wednesday in honor of the facility being named a designated stroke, trauma, and chest pain center. We spoke with Vice Chair Kira Weaver to learn more about the significance of the new sign.
So it shows our commitment to our community in providing access to life and also life-saving emergency care, particularly in areas where time is very much of the essence. It also, shows dedication of programs within our hospital that are really geared towards improved outcomes.
As an accredited primary stroke center, Lehigh Valley Hospital has treated many stroke patients, including Sugarloaf baseball coach Christopher McBride. We spoke with McBride about his experiences at the center.
Without this center, without the people who were involved that day, I might not be standing here today at all, if at all normal. That day I had complete right side paralysis and also lost the ability to speak. because of the services that EMT, Hazelton, and Cedar Crest hospitals all put together for me. I'm able to stand here, talk to you as if I never had a stroke that day. So the amount of gratitude I have for this place can't even be measured. It saved my life.
Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton is located at 700 East Broad Street in Hazleton.
Coming up on WYLN News, Chris Fulmer leads us down the path through history with Ashland Part 4. Plus, we check in with Representative Dane Watrow on Watrow's weekly update. And stay right here on WYLN. We'll be right back.
My name is Adam. Tomorrow's gonna be stormy.
Weather Kids is brought to you by Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton. Your health deserves a partner.
We want your child to be our WYLN Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on WYLN News and WYLN social media posts just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the WYLN News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today.
Your guide to everything Pocono Mountains is PTN, the Pocono Television Network. Watch PTN on WYLN.
Do you like craft beer? Do you want to learn the right way to sample wine? How about checking out a restaurant with a unique flavor or a crazy food challenge? These are just some of the things we are featuring on Wine, Hops, and Road Stops. So, spend some time learning about great wine, great beer, and great food on WYLN TV 35. Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969. When you see news happening in your neighborhood, call WYLN News at 570-459-1869 or email us at news@WYLNTV.com or send us a message on social media through Facebook. WYLN, we're your local network.
Anthracite coal mining in northwestern Schuylkill County began a long decline following World War II. Ashland, however, had more to give to the world, including on the basketball court. From 1949 to 1951, the independent Ashland Greens took the court in town. Owned by the local Greens Dairy, they would host many professional teams on the Ashland High School's gym's floor. Even the Boston Celtics came to town to play the Greens during their tenure. For the 1952 season, the York Cleaners of the Eastern Professional Basketball League, which would eventually evolve into the CBA, relocated to Ashland and assumed the Greens name. This arrangement, however, would last only 3 games, all losses, before the franchise moved again to Hazleton, becoming the Mountaineers. Meanwhile, former Ashland High School basketball coach was making his mark in the college ranks at the same time. Alvin "Doggy" Julian had played and coached several sports in his career. He had played for several Eastern Pennsylvania minor league baseball teams in the 1920s and had been a member of the 1924 Pottsville Maroons NFL squad. From 1933 to 1935, he coached these Ashland teams plus its basketball squad. Under his tutelage, Ashland's 1935 Black Diamonds football team won the state championship, defeating Altoona 6-2 on the latter's home field. Julian soon chose to focus on basketball exclusively, and a career that saw him ultimately elected to the Basketball Hall of Fame. He won 379 games with Muhlenberg, Holy Cross, and Dartmouth. Ashland residents also still enjoy going to the movies during this time and have multiple options to view them at. The Roxy Theater at 502 West Center Street and the Temple Theater at 636 West Center Street both with exquisitely designed architecture, delight moviegoers for decades in town. They will remain open until the mid-70s. In 1962, Ashland would then open to the world a renowned area attraction. The Pioneer Tunnel operated as a coal mine from 1911 to 1931. When the Depression forced its closure, mining equipment was left inside when the mine was sealed up, as its owner, the Philadelphia and Ring Coal and Iron Company, hoped to restart operations when the economy recovered. The mine was never reopened for business, however, and lay sealed as an intact time capsule until Ashland town leaders decided it would make a wonderful tourist destination. And today, the mine and its sister attraction, the Henry Clay Locomotive, named after the man who gave Ashland its name, remain major attractions in the anthracite region. Another Ashland native would become a notable science fiction writer in the 1970s. Janet Jepson had been born in town in 1926. Her first published work appeared in the Saint Mystery magazine in May 1966. Her first novel, The Second Experiment, reached bookstores 8 years later. In 1970, Jepson had met Noah science fiction writer Isaac Asimov. They would be married on November 20th, 1973. Together, they would branch out into children's science fiction with the Norby the Robot series, first appearing in 1983 with the book Norby the Mixed-Up Robot and continuing through 10 sequels. Though Janet did much of the work in the Norby series, publishers requested Isaac's name in the books as well due to his previous fame. Janet, who in between her books worked as a psychiatrist at the William Alanson White Institute of Psychoanalysis, would publish such titles as The Last Immortal, Mind Transfer, and The Package in Hyperspace, as well as numerous anthologies and collections. Janet Asimov died in 2019. Around the time the Pioneer Tunnel opened, however, a grim series of events were triggered in neighboring Centralia that left some to wonder if Father McDermott's supposed curse in the town from 100 years prior might in fact be real. Up till then, Centralia had done well over the years. Its coal mines had flourished during anthracite's peak, much as Ashland's had. In October 1913, the town region had breathed a sigh of relief when miner Thomas Tomaszewski had been rescued after 8 days trapped underground at the Centralia Colliery, the second time Tomaszewski had been buried alive. Centralia was served for years by the Lehigh Valley Railroad and had trolley service to Ashland and Mount Carmel in the early 20th century. And Centralia High School, opened for classes in 1885 and rebuilt in 1937 after a fire 2 years prior, served the community until it was merged into the Mount Carmel Area School District in 1951. By the early 60s, Centralia was a small if solid community of roughly 1,500 residents. In May of 1962, the town council met to determine the best way to clean up the town landfill, which had been built earlier that year in an old strip mine to try and discourage illegal dumping in the borough. They determined a controlled burn would be the best way to do so, despite Pennsylvania law heavily regulating such activities. The pit was filled with incombustible materials, and a fire lit on May 27th. Firemen doused all visible flames afterwards, but trash on the north side of the landfill had covered a hole leading into the abandoned mines underneath, which thus was not fireproofed. As a result, flames went through the hole and continued to burn despite further efforts to put them out. 3 separate efforts throughout 1962 and 1963 to extinguish the blaze, by then well entrenched underground, proved ineffective due to several factors. By 1980, the situation underneath Centralia was starting to cause havoc on residents' health, with high levels of carbon monoxide and dioxide concentrations seeping into town. For 12-year-old Todd Domosky, the fire almost proved fatal on February 14, 1981, when a sinkhole opened underneath him in his grandmother's yard, leaving him clinging for his life to a tree root above the fire until his cousin Eric Wolfgang pulled him to safety. Taking note of the deteriorating situation, Congress in 1984 allocated $42 million to relocate Centralia's residents. Many of them took the buyout offer and moved away. Eminent domain was then invoked in the town in 1992, and most of the buildings not yet occupied by holdouts were demolished. Today, Centralia, perhaps victimized by Father McDermott's curse, is one of the most infamous ghost towns in America, with less than 10 residents still living there, the mine fire still burning underneath it, as it likely will for several centuries to come.
Welcome back to Feel Good Friday. I'm joined by Dr. John. Dr. John, how's it going?
Great, Ryan. I love being here.
It's a pleasure always coming down. So
thank you.
We're going to talk about exercise today because it's finally warm out. It's finally nice. So let's remind the people to exercise.
You know, I get my young patients and I say to them, can you walk a block or even like a mile a day? And they say, Doc, you're trying to kill me. Believe me, I'm not trying to push it on people, but when people make the time, Ryan, to exercise, there are so many benefits as far as, you know, they're going to sleep better. I think the digestion, your bowels, you just feel better about getting outside. And my rule, though, is when I go for walks, it's my prayer time. I'm not going to go walking in the woods and be complaining about society. I go in the woods and thank you, Lord, that I can walk. Thank you that I can see. So when you make it a praise kind of exercise, whatever exercise you're into, if it's lifting weights or doing karate or yoga, have a positive attitude while you're doing it. It helps chemically the entire body to function better, but then the body is the best healer. So make time for exercise, turn off the iPads and iPhones. There's a time for those, maybe an hour a day, not 6, 7, 8, 10 hours like some people. Exercise every day.
Yeah. Exercise is important. I'd like to thank Dr. Jean for joining us on this Feel Good Friday, and we'll see you next time.
Your guide to everything Pocono Mountains is PTN, the Pocono Television Network. Tune in and see all the unique places to stay and things to do in the Pocono Mountains. Watch PTN on WYLN.
Once again, it's time for the Weatherly Hill Climb. Watch it live Saturday, June 8th from 10:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. on WYLN TV 35. Hosted by Marty Burns with special guest Chris Barrett from the Pocono Mountains Visitors Bureau and Tom Knorr. Check it out on WYLN TV 35. It's the Weatherly Hill Climb, live Saturday, June 8th.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
WYLN programming is online all the time. Visit our website at WYLNTV.com to check out archive shows and a live stream of our broadcasts. And don't forget to visit all of our social media pages for breaking news, weather, and sports. You can also head directly to our YouTube page for all our programming at youtube.com/WYLNTV35. Subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified every time there's a new show available online.
Hello and welcome back to Watro's Weekly Update. I'm Preston Anderson. Here with me is my good friend and State Representative Dane Watro. How are you today, Dane?
I'm doing very well. Thank you again for having me on WYLN.
Yeah, well, so I hear that financially it's a good. We have a recent good thing for Hazleton as there were grants given to at least four separate things given in the area, with the trio known as you, Argyle, and Cabell having to do with this, right?
Yeah. It was a great comeback for our area. We brought back in our 116th legislative district, the good senator and myself brought back close to $1.2 million, just shy. So we're going to stick with the 1.1 million on so many great projects happening in the 116th legislative district. Now, the LSA is a local share account. Unfortunately, with that portion of the LSA, it's just in the Luzerne County portion of our legislative district. So very happy to announce we got to take care of our Hazleton City Fire Department. We're in some desperate need of vehicles, so we're able to go ahead and bring that to them and be a part of that, advocating for that grant that they put in for. In addition to some demolition money is also coming back to the city to go ahead and demolish an area that's heavily blighted. So that's always a good thing. We want to keep up and keep things looking nice in our community to attract good things and good businesses. So the good senator and I are very happy and pleased to announce that award to our district. So we're looking forward to continuing on to doing that type of work and bringing back grants for our constituents.
I'm sure a lot of people will be thankful for that. It sounds great. It's, yeah. Now, speaking of other good news, I'm also aware that there was a visiting at the Capitol and having to do with Keystone Job Corps. Is that true?
That is true, yeah. So we had a local Keystone Job Corps here in Drums, Pennsylvania. That's Representative Cabell's district. But I do have some background down there working down there. So we're excited to have them and honor them on the House floor this week, and had them touring around the Capitol to see the great things happening down there, doing the people's business. So that was a great day for them, for the kids, for the staff that came down just to see how government actually works.
Yeah, with the government, there's always work to be done, and many government officials working, such as ones especially for the fire company. Now wasn't there a
130th anniversary. Is
right,
that what you're getting?
Right.
Yeah,
130th anniversary of the which one fire company
Hazelton
was it?
East End Fire
East
Company.
End, right.
So I have to say that was a great experience to be there with those men and women who, that's the volunteer base in that fire department right there. And I got to tell you what, the passion that they have to serve their community is second to none. Now I say volunteers, when I was looking out in a crowd giving my citation out, I identified there were some active duty firefighters there as well. So I questioned, I don't understand. I thought this was a volunteer base, and it is. So they'll serve their active duty part, but then also volunteer their time in the volunteer department of the fire company. So we have so much to be thankful for. We have a safe community to live in, knowing that, God forbid, something happens, that they're going to go ahead and serve the call to protect us and keep us from harm. I told a story when I was giving out the citation that I remember sitting in Jimmy's having my hot dog one day for lunch, and there was a firefighter there. And I'm going to say his name too. It was the chief sitting there. He was sitting at the snack bar having his hot dog. And I think they call it their bells on their alarms went off on his pager.
Right.
And without a beat, just got up, said to the waitress, "I'll be right back, don't move my stuff." And we just arrived there. So about 45 minutes later to an hour, he returns, sits down, and continues on with his meal. And I said during that presentation that that's one story that I could share that I've seen. However, I know that happens so often, that they're sitting down maybe with their family, or they're sitting there at Christmas dinner, Easter dinner, Thanksgiving with their family and friends, and they're getting up to a call to serve and protect us. So we have a lot to be thankful for. So the good senator and I were very happy to go ahead and advocate for that grant that they applied for and help them out in securing that, so they can make sure that they get to and from their calls when we need them the most.
Yeah, it's a lot of admiration that's really earned, without a doubt. And yeah, I cannot imagine a life having to volunteer every now and then. It's life-risking stuff that these people do. And
so passionate though they are. They're very passionate. So we're, as you, myself, and the rest of the community, very thankful to have men and women like that in our community.
Absolutely. And I don't know if I cannot imagine myself having to do that. I'm just working regularly. I don't have responsibilities having to save people. But if there ever comes a certain situation where I would have to, I'll help out, I wouldn't mind at all.
That's right.
Yeah, just for the sake of feeling good about helping others, making others feel good, make me feel good, and I'm pretty sure that's how they feel too.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds great. I always look forward to positive updates on our community and the rest of the state.
So with that being said, we're going in the month of June.
Yes,
and with June is budget season. So this is where the work of the people really gets done down there at the Capitol, and getting done our budget, I hope, by the end of June, and we could have a balanced budget and not dipping in too much to our surplus there, because we always got to have that rainy day fund. God forbid something happens. So stay tuned to that. We'll definitely be looking at coming back, I hope, back here with you and giving you some good news and updates on our balanced budget here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
Well, that's one topic to look forward to. So just hopefully it stays positive for now. And let's see. Catch you next time on Watchers Weekly Update. We'll see you next time.
If you're looking for an affordable pre-owned car or truck, Cher's Auto Sales has a great lineup of clean, dependable, and quality vehicles. Stop in at 610 North Broad Street in West Hazelton, 570-454-7229. Cher's is proud to be celebrating 70 years in business.
WYLN TV 35 is expanding and is on the hunt for a dynamic salesperson to join our vibrant team. If you've got the passion and the drive, we want to hear from you. Send your resume to the email displayed on your screen. Don't miss this great opportunity.
SJ Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond Contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call SJ Kowalski at 570-455-2600. Hey, did you know WYLN posts news stories and other bonus content on social media all week long? The Weather Kids, Fresh from the Farm, Everyday Heroes, Let's Talk Sports, Feel Good Friday, daily news stories, and more. Visit WYLNTV.com, Facebook, and YouTube to check it out. WYLN, the local leader on social media. We're your local network. Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve, 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicap accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969. Like and follow WYLN News on Facebook for the WYLN News Midday Update, posted daily between noon and 2 p.m., powered by Lehigh Valley Health Network. When it's serious, there's only one health network with seriously innovative health institutes. Lehigh Valley Health Network, your health deserves a partner.
You're watching WYLN TV 35.